Kingdom campfires, they burn so bright. God guides us with His holy light. Entrepreneurs with faith so bold, transforming the marketplace, co-creating kingdom gold.
Hey guys, welcome to Kingdom Campfires podcast dedicated to marketplace wisdom and kingdom transformation. I'm your host, Michael Whitfield, and for the next few minutes, I want to invite you around a campfire style, authentic conversation as entrepreneurs and leaders just like you share their journey of seeking first the kingdom of God and co-laboring with Him in the marketplace. Kingdom Campfires is sponsored by Sprint Wins, a free tool that tracks the growth strategies of over 200,000 businesses and helps you identify your key business genius, that unique multiplier that positions you for breakthrough. It outlines barriers to growth and then combines everything into a customized roadmap so you can see a clear path to accelerated profits. To get your free roadmap, you can visit sprintwins.com today. Today's guest is Dena Brown Mitchell from Colorado. Meet Dena. She's an inspiring founder of Wolfpack Mentors, Realize Foundation, and Genius and Sanity. With a passion for suicide prevention and helping entrepreneurs find balance, Dena empowers individuals to overcome adversity and thrive in both their personal and professional lives. Dena, welcome to the Kingdom Campfires podcast. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with our first question. What's the connection you've seen between spiritual growth and business growth?
That's a big question. I think the best way I could share it is back in 2018, I was running a multi-seven-figure business and I was exhausted and overwhelmed and I had to have surgery. And during that time, I was in bed for weeks with my own thoughts. And it just made me really think about all the regrets I had telling my friends and family no and not doing things that I would normally want to do because I was just working all the time. And that gave me the time to reconnect, you know, deeper with my faith in order to come out of that with different revelations about my business. And when I made changes, my growth doubled. Our revenue doubled
Yeah,
the next year.
that's really cool. So this connection between your spiritual growth and your business growth became apparent financially also. That's really
Absolutely.
cool. So if you're looking at your approach to rest, and we go through seasons where we're really can seem like we're busy or sometimes maybe even feeling overwhelmed. Obviously a call to have places of rest in our life. How do you approach rest and Sabbath as a business owner?
I think it's all about boundaries because when I grew up, my parents are both entrepreneurs as well. So I grew up thinking working 18 hours a day was normal. And I did that for many years. And I think it's understanding how to balance more in our life. I don't like the word work-life balance, but I think we can find more balance and put boundaries in place where, Sundays are sacred. Sundays are family days for me. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Sunday for people if they have a different schedule, but I think it's really important to have those boundaries and have that time for you to spend in prayer, in faith and with the people you love.
Yeah, that's really good. And I agree. I think it's really important. And oftentimes we forget that importance. So it's good, just a good reminder. So if you're looking at the different things that happen in business and then how you even approach business, what's been your experience with God's timing, looking at these Kairos moments, this opportune time where the Lord changes things maybe in just a moment versus your timeline and Chronos in your business?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So in 2020, I lost everything. I had built a business for 10 years, was very successful, had employees and people all over the state, and lost it all in a week, basically. Um, and I had also lost a friend to suicide a couple years earlier. And that brought up my own suicide attempt when I was in my 20s that I'd never talked about. And so God's plan was, you don't need this event company anymore, but I want you to start a nonprofit. And so that's what I did. And I've had it for 5 years now. It's called the Realize Foundation. And our mission is suicide prevention. And we really say it's all about conversations, community, and personal story because that's how we can help people feel like they're not alone.
Yeah, that's good. And it's obviously a huge importance to that type of support in our communities. And I'm assuming it's more of an online thing, or is it local?
It's mostly online, but we publish books with people's stories. So we have 4 books out on Amazon, and we also have a podcast. So we just posted our 101 episode. So
Wow, congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment. I know exactly how challenging it can be to kind of stay on track with a project, even like this one. And getting to 100 episodes is a major accomplishment. So congratulations on 101.
thank
So
you.
yeah, you're for sure. So how do you maintain a kingdom perspective when making difficult business decisions?
I have this book called Jesus Calling, which I'm sure a lot of people know about. And I read it every day and I put notes in it when things happen on certain days in my life. And it's a living, breathing book to me. And it connects me every morning. I read it every day. And I think it's that perspective of, God has a plan and we don't know what it is. And we have to trust him and we have to do what we think he's asking us to do on a daily basis so those plans can come true. And so every day I ask him for guidance and wisdom in my businesses and what he wants me to do, and you do what you think you're supposed to do and you see if it works out or not. And just keep going and keep asking and trusting.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I know you mentioned a minute ago your podcast, and obviously with specifically what you're dealing there with suicide prevention and things like that, a lot of times people in that, or every time, and people in that situation, they need hope. And obviously the gospel, the good news that we carry, bring a lot of hope in situations like that. In what ways has your business or that mission that you're working on there become a platform for sharing the gospel, maybe even without those specific words?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, it started with my story, and my story is there is no evidence that I should be here. And the only explanation is that God saved me that night. And I think he saved me back in 1997 for this mission he gave me in 2020. And I have no doubt about that because it's just the way things happened. There's no questioning that in my mind.
Yeah, that's really good. And if you're looking at when you're interacting with the people within the platform or within your community that you're building there, are you able to share the gospel, or is it more of a Christian focus, or is it how would you define the mission that you're working on there?
I don't know that it's the overarching theme, but it's definitely something I talk about a lot. I definitely talk about my faith and how I wouldn't be here without it and how um it's a daily battle, with staying close to God in order to be the best I can be and be the person that is there for the rest of the people in our community because they need help. They need to know that someone cares.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think
good.
it's just through what I talk about. I mention it a lot, or I talk about my own story.
Hmm. And is that in the podcast, or is that just in your interactions?
It's everywhere, just because the podcasts are really just conversation. So
Hmm.
it depends on what we're talking about and who I'm talking to, but we definitely talk about it.
Yeah, that's good. So if you're looking at the Lord, I believe the Lord's always at work. We could probably both agree on that. And He's always doing new things in our lives and in the lives of the people around us. What do you believe that God is doing right now in the marketplace that maybe most business owners aren't seeing yet?
Oh, geez. I think that I think that it's up to us to stay close to him to understand what he's trying to do for us. I think it's hard to see it if you're not seeking it. So you can't just say, "Okay, God, I'm going to do what I'm doing," and you fix it. I mean, you have to pray about it. You have to stay close to him and give him the trust to do what he can do in your life. And my what I say all the time is God has a better plan for us than we can imagine. But we have to stay close to him and pray about it in order for that to come to fruition.
Yeah, that's good. So no doubt some of our listeners, they're hearing what you're talking about with your podcast, this ministry or mission that you're on with helping people in the areas of suicide prevention and maybe even giving away tools and resources in that. And maybe people are interested in learning more about what it is that you're doing. How would they connect and learn more?
Sure. I have a website that's just my name. It's denabrownmitchell.com. And that all my endeavors are in there. And there's free things there. There's um, a lot of information. So that's the best place.
Okay. And would there be a link to your podcast there?
There is. So when you go to that website, there's going to be three different logos. Two of them are businesses, one of them is the nonprofit. So if you go to the nonprofit, there are links to the podcast, links to our books, videos of authors that have written in our books. So there's a lot of content there.
Yeah, that's really cool. And what's the name of the podcast?
It's called Scars to Stars.
Okay, that's very cool. I think I saw that on some of your material, probably on the website that you mentioned. So,
Yes.
well, thanks so much for joining us, Dina. And again, you can find the link in the description to this podcast. It's denabrownmitchell.com, but I'll drop that link in the description here. So we're going to wrap up from here, but thanks to our guest, Dina, for joining us and sharing your kingdom-focused journey. You can learn more about what she's doing there by visiting that website in the link. If you're a kingdom entrepreneur, a leader that's focused on seeing his kingdom come in your business and in everyday life, I want to extend a special invite to join us as a guest. You can visit kingdomcampfires.com and apply there. And one more time, if you want to identify barriers to breakthrough and growth and profits and get a clear roadmap to quick wins with quality lead generation, client acquisition, and scaling growth and profits, you can visit sprintwins.com today. So that's a wrap for today's Kingdom Campfire conversation. We'll see you next time.
In fields where dreams and visions bloom, under stars we watch the flames. We gather in the campfire's light, sharing God's vision for our lives, where sparks of hope and passion flare, bearing our hearts His light to share. Whispers of Holy Spirit's call echo in the hearts of all. Kingdom campfires, they burn so bright. God guides us with His holy light. Entrepreneurs with faith so bold, transforming the marketplace, co-creating kingdom gold. Fire, where shadows fade, by His grace He guides the way. Every heart on the mission field, together we shall see it built. A tapestry of faith and trades, where every thread is heaven made, sharing visions hand in hand. We light these fires across the land. Kingdom campfires, they burn so bright. God guides us with His holy light. Entrepreneurs with faith so bold, transforming the marketplace, co-creating